So, guess who's doing a casebook entry really late at night again? Anyway, creative collaboration. We are teaming up with industry, in this case, somebody I've forgotten their name, to make a short animation that will then be shown throughout Manchester. As I mentioned, Annabeth's going to be teaching us this one as well. So the module is split into 2 bits. 70% is the actual practical animation bit, and then 30% is presentation. So the animation itself has to be 1 to 2 minutes long, but the presentation has to be about 15 minutes long. Which is a problem, because whilst I'm perfectly happy to talk to myself for 15 minutes, other people, Along the way, we've got to have a little sketchbook, which is sort of a visual diary of everything that we've done and contributed to the project, which is fine by me, because I'm going to be assisting in this group project purely on a conceptual level. I can't animate and I can't edit, but I can have really good ideas. Annabeth finished the week by telling us to watch TED Talk, and then gave us the 5 ings. The 5 ings are as follows. The first is forming. So your team getting together and getting to know one another. And seeing as we've all spent a year in each other's company, that's not a problem. The second is storming, as in brainstorming, but also as in storming the castles of other people's sanity, because this is the point where the team falls apart. The third ing is norming, as in job roles are defined and progress is made. The fourth ing is performing. Everyone does their job, there's no arguments, it's just solid progress all the way. And finally, adjourning, which doesn't really work with the others, I've just noticed, because they're all orming, and this is slightly different. But anyway, it's the reflection stage. A helpful hint was also dropped that we should finish the production Bible by week 6. We were then introduced to the Wheel of Roles. This is a very magical wheel which has different roles on it, and then you decide who you want to be in the group based on what role you'd really like to do, and one you'd be okay with, and the one that you definitely do not want to do. I want to be a plant because I plant the seeds of imagination and grow ideas. The good news is, at the end of the first week, I not only had a team, but I also had the roles in mind that I wanted to do. And then came the second week, and something miraculous happened. Progress was actually made. So in the first week, that was more of us assembling a team together, which we did with class. And then we decided what type of animation we wanted to use, so stop-mo or 2D or 3D. And we settled on 2D with 3D background. Hence why I'm not doing any animating. So in the second week, we started brainstorming, and we came up with an idea about a pig who wants to fly, but can't, and by the end, it does. And we all liked that idea, so we started doing concept art, and I wrote a script. I didn't receive any feedback from the rest of my team on it, but hopefully that will come out this week, so then we can make progress from there. We've also named ourselves Flying Pig Studios in honour of our first ever creation. That was my idea, by the way. Anyway, in terms of actual lesson content, in week 2, Annabeth gave us a brief history of abstract animation. We begin, of course, with Kandinsky, and how he painted to music, and how everyone went, "Oh my days, this guy is literally the best thing since the quill was invented." We then skip over to Thomas Wilfred, who started playing with light and ink, and realised, hey, this is kind of cool. And then possibly the very first abstract animation ever, created by a guy called Viking Eggling, which is like the coolest name ever. And it was literally just wiggly lines just being drawn on a black screen. But the fact that it was created so long ago is so cool. We then move on to Oscar Fischer, who created the world's first optical poem, which was lines and stuff and wiggly bits, like Viking Eggling, but to music. So a sort of animated symphony, if you will. And then Disney came along and said, hey, we like that, so we're going to rip it off entirely and put it in Fantasia. Can I, do anything about it? That's the best part. You can't! And then comes Norman McLaren, who literally does one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and creates synth noises. A Scottish animator basically creates the sounds which make up the Doctor Who soundtrack by painting onto film. Like literally just painting onto film and then playing it and then making really weird sounds. They sound a bit like farts, but it's still really cool. Just imagine the bragging rights he got from that. Oh yeah, I was a lawyer for about 50 years and nobody ever was convicted guilty because of me. Wow, Stephen, that's really impressive. I wonder what could top that. Maybe, oh, I don't know, painting sound? My god. And then, of course, we have one of the greatest animating legends of all time. Chuck Jones, the creator of Tom and Jerry. Not quite as legendary, but still pretty cool, was John Whitney, who created the first ever computer graphic titles. Because beforehand, you know, the title would just show up and then the film would play. But John Whitney decided, hey, what if we made the title really cool? And everyone else went, he is the one. And that's where the film Vertigo comes from. Thanks to John Whitney's work called Catalogue. And then we take a jump forwards in time to 2001. Not the year of the film, 2001 A Space Odyssey. To create the Technicolor space scenes of that legendary film, what they did was they got coloured panes, and then in front of that they put two black boards with a slit in the middle. And then they pushed the camera towards that slit very quickly. And that's how they made the effect. I'll put a link in the description to a video about it, because they explain it a lot better than I do. But anyway, they made a really cool effect. Fast forward to 1982, and Tron comes out in cinemas. Now, the interesting thing about Tron, as in the 1982 version, not the Tron Legacy with all the flatlining stuff. Anyway, the point is, only about 8 minutes of the original Tron film is computer graphics. The rest is animation. And even if you just watch one scene from that film, you understand why that is just mind-blowing. And now, here we are in 2020 with things like Trapcode, which can literally create high-definition shapes and textures out of nothing, blow them up to the size of the moon, and then shrink them back down again to the size of a pea. Annabeth specifically told us not to just repeat all those names that I have just repeated, and not add any of our own, so here's a couple that I found. First of all, Piet Mondrian. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, point is, he was an artist that worked with very simple shapes and black lines and very basic primary colours. And the reason I bring him up is that he was the inspiration for Ole Kirk Christensen, aka the creator of Lego. And why is that significant to animation? Because both Lego movies aren't stop-mo, they're computer graphics. Computer graphics. And they look that good. Anyway, the other guy I want to bring your attention to is a guy called Victor Vasarely. Or Vasarely? Vasarely? It's one of the two. Anyway, the point is, he was all about the art of optical abstraction. And his artwork resembled a lot of looked very computer-ish, like it come off a computer. And it was his artwork that inspired stuff like CAD-CAM and other technologies such as that, which is pretty cool. So I'll put some of his artwork up here, or just links in the description to both the artists' work, so you can check them out for yourself. So yeah, pretty good. We've made great progress as a team, and we've learned a lot about different artists. So all good. I shall check back with you later when there's more stuff to report. Bye!